afternoon mga ka-OFE and welcome again to OFE Side Hustle. So, this time, actually, meron tayong Suki na guest. So, very thankful kami kasi he allot time to share his expertise to us. This is his third episode with OFE Side Hustle. So, kung hindi pa kayo nakakapanood ng previous episodes, go through our page at makikita nyo din yung first two parts. So last time nag-share si Sir Oliver ng about AI tools na pwede nating magamit from free to paid. So if interested kayo dyan, feel free to watch it on Facebook or on our YouTube channel. So hindi na natin papatagalin. Let's do this part 2 of with regarding AI with Sir Oliver Ipshoco.
Hello!
Hi, sir. Thank you again for having us or in your time. Alam ko sobrang busy niyo po talaga. So, thank you so much, Sir Oliver.
Hello everyone. Thank you for having me again here as this is my third time.
Thank you po, thank you. So, balikan lang natin ng mabilis yung last time, no? So, nag-share si Sir Oliver ng mga budget AI na pwede natin gawin or yung free AI tools. Nandiyan yung si ChatGPT and also nandun din yung mga premium na pwede nating gamitin like Gemini also. Actually, lahat to may mga free version naman, di ba, Sir Oliver? But eventually,
Yes.
pag nagustuhan nyo yung tool, pwede na kayong mag-paid version. So, ayun. Next, for this episode, ang next topic siguro mas broader na din yung magiging topic natin for today. So, yeah, Sir Oliver, go ahead po.
Yes, thank you so much. I actually prepared a slide for our mga ka-OFEs. Ano ko lang, i-share screen ko lang.
Sige po.
And then, share screen. Just to make sure entire screen lang. So, and then, i-present ko lang to. Okay, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening sa ating mga ka-OFE, especially sa mga ating OFW sa buong mundo. So today, we're actually in the part 2 of our OFE side hustle tutorial, which is emerging AI tools and strategies for 2026. So this is about the next level in which AI that actually does the work for us. Ngayon, let's go about dun sa evolution. Okay, so nung time ng this actually happened during the pandemic. And if naalala natin, between 2022 to 2023, naging public yung mga AI tools. Kasi before, kung maalala natin, ang artificial intelligence kasi hindi talaga siya totally available in public. Kumbaga, exclusively siya as research and at the same time, ginagamit siya on an enterprise level. This has been existing way back 1950s, 1960s, which is called yun nga, yung machine learning. Kung maalala natin, even yung mga Netflix recommendations that is powered by machine learning. Kung for example, mahilig tayong manood ng mga K-drama or let's say ng mga anime. So kung ano yung mga searches natin, naiintindihan ng algorithm yung ano yung mga pwedeng i-recommend sa ating mga shows. So during 2022 to 2023, naging na-release si ChatGPT. So during that time, even before to ma-release in 2022, in the US and some parts of other countries, meron na silang makinuhang mga selected users for their closed beta testing. So ibig sabihin nito, may mga users na gumagamit to test kung ano yung mga capabilities ni ChatGPT. And then 2024 to 2025 ito yung year of AI agents. So ibig sabihin nito itong AI agents is these are types of AI technologies that can handle certain complex tasks. Let's say, for example, you wanted to build an AI agent where it can handle yung mga tinatawag nating automations for recruitment process, which is the normally ginagawa ng mga HR recruiters or let's say For example, if you're in the finance team, you can build an AI agent where it can actually analyze invoices and determine if those invoices are good to be paid, or if it needs approval from a higher team or higher management, or if that invoice needs to be rejected, sent back to the supplier to make sure that they comply to our requirements with their customers. And then 2026, mas naging advanced level ngayon ang mga tinatawag nating agentic workflows. Kumbaga, nagiging ano na siya, nagiging digital worker na siya, which can actually do certain tasks first. Let's say, for example, meron akong executive assistant that handles my calendar management, inbox management, but now AI can actually do the task for me.
Mm.
Okay. So there are three trending agentic AI platforms for the past like 60, 90 days. So first is this is OpenClaw. So si OpenClaw, this is actually an open source developer grade agentic tool. So nag-ooperate siya in a terminal. So later on, I'll try to show you kung ano itsura nung example ng terminal. So pang developer grade to hindi siya ganun ka-friendly for beginners eh. Pero if you're like a software engineer, a programmer, or a developer, maintindihan mo kung paano i-run yung mga commands using OpenClaw para makapag-automate ka ng simultaneously ng mga different tasks. Like for example, you wanted to build like an agentic workflow where it will remind you to wake you up, let's say every 6 a.m. in the morning, or let's say you want to build an AI agent where it can actually summarize or recap your emails by the end of the business days.
Mm.
And then, nagkaroon ng tinatawag na Claude Cowork after ng Claude Code. So si Claude Cowork, similar siya kay OpenClaw, kaso nga lang mas user-friendly kasi nga yung user interface niya. Kumbaga, para siyang para kang nagta-type lang kay Gemini or kay ChatGPT. So kung makikita natin, this is also a no-code solution, but of course, this works kung if you're on a paid version. Yung Claude Pro roughly cost $20. So sa conversion, estimated siya mga 1,150. Yung max version niya, which has higher limits or higher tokens, costs roughly about $100 to $200 per month. Estimate lang yun. So Perplexity naman, so si Perplexity sumabay siya sa trend. So nag-build siya ng sarili niyang agentic feature which is called Perplexity Computer, which is available currently only for enterprise max users at the moment. Pero sabi sa amin, magiging available siya to pro users roughly $20 pero with lower max limits. So currently it cost about $200 per month. So roughly about $11,500. So paano yung sistema nito mga to? So let's start with Perplexity. So si Perplexity, it offers us with different AI models. So depending doon sa task na gagawin natin, let's say for example, if you wanted to use Perplexity to do deep research, ang ginagawa ni Perplexity is ang ginagamit niya is Gemini model. Kapag yung mga code, let's say for example, yung mga reasoning, tapos yung mga code generation, ang pinipili niya si Claude Opus. And then for long context, let's say for example, yung mga summary na nagre-require ng mga maraming text, usually ang pinipili niya si OpenAI, yung mga GPT models. Tapos it also has 400 plus integrations from different platforms like Notion, Slack, Gmail, Salesforce, so on and so forth. So how does these platforms works? Let's say, for example, you wanted to, let's say, create a weekly competitor analysis. So what it does is these computer features ni Perplexity, it actually breaks down yung mga tasks. Let's say, for example, you wanted to ask Perplexity computer to conduct a comprehensive deep research of what's happening with the AI or data center or cloud landscape. And then, meron siyang tinatawag na sub-agent where it actually specialized on specific domains. Let's say, for example, yung isang sub-agent, ang gagawin niya, i-research niya about AI, yung isa naman i-research niya about cloud, yung isa naman i-research niya about data center. And it runs or works asynchronously. So for example, you ask Perplexity, let's say, okay, can you check my calendar, my Google Calendar, and see what are my next upcoming events in the next let's say 7 to 14 days. That's the first task. Yung next task naman, let's say, is can you conduct a deep research about what's the latest in cloud infrastructures? And the third task naman is can you provide me at least a daily meal plan for my, let's say, for example, I'm a vegan, so can you provide me my daily plan as a vegan? Yung mga example task na these agents can actually run simultaneously. So would you imagine na kumbaga sa tatlong tao yung gumagawa nun, but because of the capabilities of AI, nagagawa na ito ng itong multiple tasks na to is nagagawa na ng mga AI technologies. So next naman is si Claude Cowork. So si Claude Cowork is it can access your files, can convert formats, generate report, but of course with certain level of permissions. And then of course it can also let's say if you wanted to have Claude Cowork to have access to your calendar, you can do so para depende dun sa task na gusto mong gawin ni Claude Cowork. Let's say, for example, you wanted Claude Cowork to, let's say, remind you every, let's say, 30 minutes kung may upcoming meeting ka, or let's say, meron ka upcoming travel or itinerary ka in the next 7 to 10 days. And then also, this is perfect for yun nga yung mga non-technical users kasi nga because of the user interface. Later on ipapakita ko sa inyo kung ano itsura niya ni Claude Cowork. Si OpenClaw naman, this is free and open source, but like na-mention ko kanina, it's more developer friendly kasi mahirap siyang i-run. So ito naman is it works on other platforms like WhatsApp, Telegram, Discord, Slack. And then also, it can work with other AI models like DeepSeek, OpenAI's GPT models, Anthropic Claude's models. And then, if familiar kayo kay GitHub, si GitHub is ito yung repository ng mga developers. Nandun yung mga front end, yung mga back end, yung mga code base, yung mga files. So repository siya ng mga developers. And then of course, in terms of suggestions, this would depend kasi kung how savvy you are. Let's say, for example, if you wanted to use, let's say, if you wanted to have a certain level of control on your data, making sure that it's enterprise compliant, you can actually use Perplexity Computer. If you're like, let's say, a solopreneur, like ako, solopreneur ako, and you just wanted to test these tools, like, hindi ka naman ganun ka-savvy when it comes to coding, you just wanted to use, let's say, maximize a user-friendly tool, you can use Claude Cowork. Pero if you're a tech-savvy, let's say, developer ka na, sanay ka na sa mga terminals, you can use OpenClaw to test these agentic capabilities. Okay. So, ano yung mga examples sa pwede niyang use case niya? So, for online sellers, let's say, for example, it can auto-respond to inquiries 24/7 via Messenger. For content creators, it can actually conduct research, write schedule, post daily. Let's say, for example, if you don't have a social media manager, it can actually help you when it comes to conducting schedule posts. If you work in the BPO industry, it can also help you, let's say, automate certain reports and also help you with cleaning up the data. And if you're a consultant, let's say, it can actually help you generate client proposals while you're asleep. Okay, so since nasa live demo na tayo, pakita ko muna sa inyo kung ano yung itsura lang terminal. So, ganito itsura ng terminal. Okay, usually itim siya. So ganito, dito ka maglaro ng mga commands and then depende kung mag-error siya or hindi. So ito lang yung example ng terminal. But for this example, we're going to use Claude. So this is Claude desktop version. So para ma-access mo siya, yung other features besides chat like Claude Cowork and Claude Code, you have to make sure na naka-pro plan ka. That's the first thing. Second is you need to download yung desktop version ni Claude. Okay, so I'll give you some examples of how Claude Co works. Okay, so pakita ko muna sa inyo yung mga features, like for example, you can search like certain projects or certain chats na tinanong mo. you can also schedule tasks. Like for example na to, ito yung ginawa ko kanina. So I've asked Claude that every day at 6 p.m. in my local time, which is Philippine Standard Time, is I want Claude to summarize all of my recent emails na dumarating sa akin on a daily basis. Kasi sometimes kasi ang daming dumarating na email sa akin, so I have to make sure that I'm caught up of what's happening. And then I enable this feature that every day at roughly about 6:03 p.m. magsisend ng summary si Claude sa akin. And then this is where you can actually edit or delete yung task or yung command. So if you wanted to run this, you can just click command. So sabi rito, schedule task daily image summary 6 p.m. started. So you can view this. So kung makikita natin, nagra-run siya. Ayan. So yun yung example. So sabi rito, I'll execute this schedule task and prepare your daily email summary. So ito yung nangyari. So sinasummarize na niyo yung kung ano yung nangyari. So binibreakdown niya kung may mga urgent ba or time sensitive. Sabi niya rito, wala naman. So important but not urgent, sabi niya wala naman. So the rest naman is wala naman. So sabi rito, your inbox is clear. So you're all caught up. So yun yung mga example task. And then at the same time, if we go back here, this is where you can create your new task. Let's say, for example, you can also ask a certain task here. Let's say, for example, can you find me the logo of the Cypher Labs? Let's say work in folder. So depende kung bibigyan mo siya ng permission. So but you have to make sure na you understand yung mga implications kapag binigyan mo na access si Claude. Let's say sabi rito, allow Claude to change files and download. This includes all files and subfolders. Claude will be able to read, edit, and permanently delete. So pag ganito, we have to be careful. For now, i-allow ko muna siya kasi nga may hinahanap tayong files sa device ko. Okay, so this is actually for testing purposes. Ayan, so kung nakikita natin, ayan, sabi niya dito, it's already loading the tools. So marami tayong dito. So marami tayong task na magagawa dito kay Claude. So kung titingnan natin dito, naghahalugog na siya ng files. And then you have the option for the context if you wanted to do a web search. So it's up to you. Sabi rito, I wasn't able to pull a logo image directly from the website. Pero sabi niya rito is nakita niya yung official website. So for example, if let's say wala siyang mahanap sa device mo, maghahanap siya sa, let's say sa website provided na naka-on yung pinaka niya, itong web search na tinatawag. So nakahanap siya ng logo kasi nga naka-on yung web search ko, which is itong website na to. Okay, so balik tayo. Now, there is another interesting na feature na that is good for someone who's building. So, I'm just going to show you this Claude Code. Very brief demo lang siya. So let's say ang purpose kasi ni Claude Code is this is a tool where it can actually help us build something. So for example, I will ask, can you build me a basic game similar to isip tayo ng game. Let's say similar to Nokia Space Impact with a preview. So you have the option to either have Claude to ask permission first or auto accept yung mga changes. Kasi minsan si Claude, alam mo yung mga AI, minsan pala decision niya mga yan eh. So that's why you have to be mindful kung ano yung mga permissions na sineset natin. So for now, we'll try to ask Claude to build a game for us. So for now, let's not actually, nagkamali ako dito. Dapat pala inallow ko siya. So let's ano na lang, let's repeat na lang yung ano. Ops, okay. So let's ano na lang, let's use ano na lang, a new chat session na lang. Kasi supposedly pala dapat inalaw natin siya eh. As permission. So, Claude Code. Ayan.
Usually, ano yung mga questions dun sa permissions, Sir Oliver?
Usually permissions like yung pinakita ko kanina. Let's say if you want Claude to let's say view, edit
Mm-mm.
or delete yung files. Kasi diyan minsan nagkakaproblema yung mga yung mga users
Mm.
with those platforms. Kasi nga si AI, we have to be sabi ko kanina, we have to be mindful kung anong klaseng dapat naintindihan natin kung ano yung permission na yun eh.
Yeah.
That's why usually ginagawa ko muna, nire-review ko muna siya. Like say for example, naka-plan mode ako. Yung plan mode na to is let's say, sasabihin ni Claude kung ano yung ginagawa niya. Kung ano naman, as a developer, kung naintindihan ko naman kung ano yung files na gagalawin niya and it's okay for me, then I can allow Claude to or itong AI model to modify that specific code base. If not, I would ask them not to touch that. So doon tayo medyo kailangan
Careful.
maging mindful eh.
Mm-mm.
So then you can click the preview. Actually, dapat nag-work to eh. Nagkamali ako kanina kasi dapat inallow ko yung permission. So we can just na lang. Try natin si Opus. And auto-accept na lang yan. Anyway, ano lang naman to eh. It's just a basic game lang naman. Tapos dito, sabi dito, you can run your devs server to inspect network request, debug with logs, and see live changes. So you have the option to set this up. But for now, let's restart kasi nga I have to give permission eh. Ayan. Nagra-run pa kasi si si cowork natin. So let's try to archive na lang and then let's repeat na lang yung same instruction. And then let's auto-accept and use yung much efficient model which is the Sonnet. Fail to load session, unfortunately, dahil nagkamali ako, but let's try to use the chat instead. Minsan dito ako gumagawa yung basic yung mismong core interface ng chat niya. So sabi rito, reading front-end design skill.
Okay.
Ayan. So minsan maka-encounter talaga tayo ng mga mishap na alam mo yon, like ako minsan nagkakamali ako ng ng pindot. That's why sometimes I double check yung mga settings, which normal lang naman siya nangyayari yun eh. What's important kasi is at least we understand kung ano yung mga implications ng mga settings ng mga AI models. So makikita natin dito, it's saying here, it's architecting a canvas-based space impact game with retro aesthetics. So would you imagine this is just a basic instruction? Kaya si Claude Cowork kasi it's more on more on an advanced level kasi ang gagawin niya kasi i-build niya yung code base, i-preview niya sa local host yung application, and then yung application na yun is bahala ka na kung saan mo siya i-deploy, whether i-deploy mo siya sa Netlify or let's say sa Vercel, or let's say if you're using vibe coding tools like Replit or Lovable, pwede mong i-upload doon. And then at the same time, you can upload it sa GitHub din. Although medyo mas complex yung process niya. So, medyo siya kailangan ng mga bootcamp kapag mga ganyan eh. Since we only have limited time, so that's why I'm showing you these examples na. So sabi rito, architecting retro space impact. So medyo lang siya, medyo matagalan ng konti. Kasi nga, nagbe-build na siya ng game for us. Kung naalala mo na share ko last time is, before like roughly mga 3 years ago, ito mga Gen AI applications, it can only do so much, like for example, generate text, images, code base, and then nagkaroon nga ng enhancements na pwede na siya mag-generate ng video. Right now, it can actually build a lot of things for us, including front-end applications, like yung mga dashboards. Ayan, so medyo ano siya, itong ginagawa niya. So pag clinic natin to, itong ginagawa niya. So makikita natin yung ano, yung reasoning niya. So sabi niya rito, I'm working through the canvas sizing issue. The frame scales is yun nga, yada yada yada. So ang good thing lang dito sa mga ano na to, sa mga platforms na to is they can also identify kung may problema or may error habang ginagawa nila ito. So would you imagine meron kang AI employee, meron kang sariling software engineer na gumagawa ng nung certain applications para sa iyo, 'di ba? So ganun siya ka So ganun siya ka fascinating. Would you imagine yung ginagawa ng isang developer na it takes like weeks, months to create. Kaya nagagawa na siya in just like in less than an hour or even sometimes less than 30 minutes. So ganun siya ka-advance.
Even the
So ayan.
logo, right? Dati pag nagpapagawa kang logo, sobrang tagal. Kailangan mo pang mag-hire. Ngayon,
Yes.
ang dali na.
Madali na. So ngayon, katulad nito, sabi niya, calibrating laser cannons. And then, ayan, dito natin mapipreview yung game. So, yun nga, it can actually generate code base. So, pwede natin i-copy to. Let's say, for example, gusto natin gumawa ng mga CSS, HTML na games, di ba? Yung mga basic. Ayan. Kasi, like, for example, itong mga web developers na to, yung mga software engineers, would you imagine how exhausting it is to code from scratch?
Yeah.
Diba? Starting from, let's say, it takes weeks, even months for these projects to get finished or completed. And because of AI, it's already augmenting roles, jobs. So that's why nangyari ngayon is mas marami na tayong nagagawa because of that. Ayan. So nakita natin, 'di ba? Partida hindi pa natin nagawa to sa Claude Code pero sa basic chat interface pa lang nagagawa na natin.
Saya, ang bilis, ang galing.
Actually, may audio to eh. Siguro, hindi ko lang sa inyo maparinig kasi naka-headset ako eh. Pero if you try this, nakakaaliw. So, di ba, nakapag-create tayo ng game. So, ayan, explain na niya yung mechanics and then sabi nga niya, want me to add anything like boss enemy? Yes. So, nagbibigay din siya ng suggestions. Gusto mo ba ng ganito, ganyan? So, it's up to you. Ang lagi kong sinasabi is we apply pa rin yung human in the loop capabilities. Dito papasok yung strategy and decision making as humans. Actually nag-ask na nga siya, power up, shield. So moderate na lang para mas okay. So these types of AI employees, these are the things that they can do for us, yung capabilities niya. So we just have to try and explore para makita natin or experiment kung ano yung mga kaya niyang gawin to help us, especially for us na mga OFWs na alam mo yun na we usually lack of manpower, kailangan natin ng ganito, ganyan. Lalo na kung, let's say for example, if you're operating an online business overseas, wala ka namang ganong budget para mag-hire ng tao. So you can maximize these tools para makatulong sa'yo na makasave ng koste. And at the same time, mas maraming magawa in terms of productivity. So nakikita natin it's already architecting. Sabi nga rito, architecting comprehensive game code with all for, ayan, pag in-expand natin to, clinic natin, ayan, makikita natin yung reasoning ni Claude. Ganyan na yung ginagawa niya. Ayan, so I'm now drawing cockpit. Ayan, makikita natin. Hindi pa natin ginamit yung Claude Code, yung chat interface pa lang. So, minsan maka-encounter kayo ng ganito. Kasi ang other factors kasi yung internet connectivity and then sometimes yun nga pag naubusan ng credits. So, you can just click retry. And it's normal kasi nangyayari yan sa mga AI platforms eh. Pero kanina, the fact na nakapag-generate tayo is, which means na kaya niyang gawin eh. So ayan, medyo naglalag siya ng konti. Sabi niya, let me build the full upgraded version. Ayan. So, it's up to you kung gusto mong i-retry. Sabi niya rito, architecting enhanced game. So ayan, these are some of the examples na minsan may encounter natin. So we just have to alam mo, learn how to troubleshoot. We can just like click this, close this, and then open this. Ayan, so let's just go back to the same chat interface. So pag nangyari yan, balik lang kayo dun sa chat interface and then yun nga, i-generate na niya ulit yung the only moment na hindi niyo siya mababalikan kapag dinilit niyo yung chat history. Yun lang yung ko sa inyo, yun lang yung disclaimer ko sa inyo. And so makikita natin dito, it says here, dropping power, arming the spread cannon. Ayan, nag-add siya kasi sabi ko nga nagbigay siya ng suggestion, gusto mo ng ganito, ganyan, mag-add tayo ng ganyan. So, would you really imagine, di ba, na as a machine giving you those suggestions na, alam mo yun, na they're very smart enough to provide those recommendations to us. Kumbaga, nasa sa atin na lang yung final say or final decision kung mag-a-agree ba tayo doon or hindi. So, ayan. So, expect lang natin medyo matagal siya Matagal siyang gawin kasi nga, like na-mention ko kanina, sometimes you also have to consider din yung internet connectivity natin, kung stable ba siya. So, it's really important na if we're using these tools, we have to make sure na we have yung necessary memory, yung internet connectivity kasi yung device na ginagamit natin is napakalaki din ng factor niya. Especially right now, AI tools are becoming more advanced. So as much as possible, especially kung bibili ako ng device, I have to make sure na kaya yung mga certain AI tools. That's why I usually prefer using MacBook, yung mga at least M3, M2 or M3 pataas. Kasi nga yung yung neural engine niya, kumbaga it can already handle basic to complex AI task. And so medyo matagal siya, pero ito yung pinakaunang preview niya. Pwede niyo ulit siyang laruin. And then you can also download the file. Itong file na to, ito yung pwede niyo i-deploy or pwede niyo, let's say for example, i-transfer sa ibang platform. Pwede niyo rin siyang i-save as artifact. Ayun, medyo matagal siya gawin kasi nga sabi ko nag-request pa ako ng additional change. Pero yun lang yung pinaka niya, yun yung pinaka idea niya na what Claude Cowork yan na. So ito na. So ganito yung tsura niya. Like for example, sasabihin niya sa ano yung mga inad niya, ano yung mga changes. Ayan. So ayun, so this is the example of our demo, and then let's go back to the presentation. So there are some certain security rules for agentic AI. The first thing is it's recommended for us to start small. Kasi everything starts from scratch . So if we want to test something, we have to start small muna, or let's say a small population para makita natin kung nag-work ba siya or hindi. And then we also have to review yung outputs. Kung sabi ko kanina, we have to use yung tinatawag nating human in the loop intervention, which is doon papasok yung natin yung human review, yung final decision is sa atin pa rin nanggagaling. And then of course, we have to be mindful kung ano yung mga certain level of permissions na sineset sa atin. Kasi there are some instances na si AI nakapag-delete siya ng files. So, we have to be mindful, we have to be careful kung i-allow ba natin siya or dapat we have to set na dapat i-review muna natin yung certain permissions before natin siya i-execute. And of course, yung tinatawag nating audit trails kasi is to track kung ano yung ginagawa ng agent. Kumbaga, hindi naman sa sa clingy tayo, but we also have to reconsider din at some point na at least nagra-random audit tayo kung ano yung nangyayari dun sa sa AI agent na binibuild natin na nag-execute ng mga task na yon. So ayun, so I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions.
Yung ano pa nga lang sir, yung pag-build pa lang ng game, no? Usually sobrang complicated yan. Kahit sabihin mong
Mm-mm.
simple yung game, para ma-build mo siya in, what, 10, 15 minutes?
Mm-mm.
Meron ka na agad product na pwede mong ipagamit sa mga clients mo, di ba? So, sobrang, sobrang amazing talaga. And sabi mo nga, there are simple ways na pwede kang gumamit ng AI in your business. You can start with pag-answer ng inquiries,
Yes.
yung social media post. Let's say wala kang budget pagbayad ng social media manager o upuan mo
Yes.
ng weekend. Tapos, i-schedule mo yung mga post. So,
Yes.
so madaming, madaming ways. Siguro, one question for me, sir, is yung narinig ko kasi sa iba na sabi is wag maging overly dependent on AI. So, like, maybe that yung task is sobrang simple. So, question is when to use AI and when not to use AI. And tingin niyo ba, sir, meron ba talagang over-dependent on AI na
Mm.
nangyayari?
Actually, good question sa kasi may mga recent studies kasi especially let's say sa Harvard na yun nga,
Hmm.
yung at some point yung over dependence on AI nagdi-diminish yung yung cognitive abilities. Pero case
Hmm.
to case basis kasi yan eh. There like for example, I'll give you an example like 2 or 3 years ago, may mga students na na sila, aware na sila about these AI tools, especially ChatGPT. That's why they're using it for their sa mga thesis nila, sa mga case study. I met a student na yun nga na sabi nga niya sa akin na, "Sir, nagamit na po kasi kami ng AI tool since last year pa." I think that was 2024.
Ay,
And
maaga
kasi
sila.
lumabas kasi si ChatGPT, yung public beta niya nung November 2022. Closed beta kasi siya before that time. May mga selected users lang na nagte-test nun. What happened was, these students are already using it for their thesis and their exams. Sabi ko sa kanila, lahat naman ng technology sa double-edged sword eh. Okay,
Mm.
sige. I will allow you to use those AI tools for your thesis. Ang tanong ba, naiintindihan mo ba yung context ng study? Let's say, for
Mm.
example, nag-build kayo ng isang, let's say, feature ng isang, kunyari, thesis nyo, nag-build kayo, let's say, ng let's say, mechatronics. Like ako kasi nung college ako, nag-build kami nung vending machine
Mm.
na operated ng Visual Basic. Ngayon, ang isa sa mga natutunan ko rito is you have to map out ano ba yung mga capabilities and limitations. Kasi
Mm.
ang technology as time goes by, meron pang mga limitations yan.
Mm.
It's just so happen lang, syempre nag-upgrade yan over time. That's why we have to pa rin um, we have to identify ano ba yung mga kayang gawin ng AI versus dun sa ano ba yung kayang i-handle ng tao.
Mm.
Yun yung number one na bagay na lagi kong sinasabi sa mga organizations, sa mga students. Halimbawa, yung mga pag-generate ng reports, let's say yung mga weekly reports, kaya na niyang gawin ng AI. But with human intervention, you have to at least conduct, let's say, a random sampling or random audit kasi AI can still make mistakes, but it can improve over time. So let's say, for example, yung exercise na, let's say, meron kang prompt, you're using, let's say, in your workplace, you're using Claude to create yung mga visual dashboard on, let's say, on a weekly basis.
Mm.
Pero, you wanted to make sure na siya, na accurate siya. Kasi otherwise kasi, pag nagkamali ng decision si leadership, because of dirty data or unclean data, most likely it's because of the output of the AI. So that's why pa rin diyan pa rin papasok yung human in the loop intervention.
Yeah,
And
kailangan mo
totoo
pa rin
yun kasi
i-validate yung results.
yes, and totoo kasi yun at some point may study kasi nga na nakaka-diminish siya. It's because kasi nga technology is a double-edged sword. That's why
Mm-mm.
yun nga, we also have to use those technology responsibly. And at the same time, is apply critical thinking how we can enhance those technology to solve real world problems. Kasi at the end of the day, kasi it's all about solving real world problems eh. Let's say for example, yung sa sustainability sa environment. 'Di ba? It's because of, let's say, AI has been creating opportunities for enhancements, and at the same time creating opportunities for infrastructure to boom. Nagkakaroon ng problem because of sustainability, like impact sa environment. Yun yung mga example problems. So that's why we have to also think of a way or apply critical thinking on how we can augment these types of technologies or use AI to advance to solve real world problems.
Mm. I think kahit dun sa mga businesses 'no, so let's say gagamit ka ng AI pero hindi very specific yung problem na tina-try mo
Mm,
i-solve. Like,
mm,
para kang nasa like lost din yung AI tool na ginagamit mo kasi wala kang specific problem na sino-solve.
mm.
So, I think yun yung maging focus, when using yung AI nga. I think you mentioned that also last, episode. So, yeah.
Yes. Totoo yun eh. Ano pa yun?
Yeah, sorry sir. One more question sa akin is yung na-mention niyo about permissions a while ago. So, ano po sa tingin niyo yung mga risk, for businesses about privacy or confidential data? Let's say, may mga businesses is meron silang, financial reports, yung mga gano'n. So, ang karamihan ng tinatanong sa'min is, "Okey lang ba mag-upload ako ng file diyan? Safe ba 'yan?" Sabi, "Hindi ba 'yan mali-leak?" Yung mga gano'ng, questions.
Actually, good question eh. Hindi ko lang maalala kung na-mention ko to last time, pero kasi companies kasi they're using mga enterprise grade na mga
Mhm,
na mga AI platforms. Usually kasi ang enterprise grade is iba yung subscription yan eh. And
mm,
at the same time, may level of controls yung mga administrator kung ano lang yung pwedeng feature na pwede mong gamitin. Let's say for example si Claude, let's say binigyan kayo ng enterprise access pero hindi mo magagamit yung tinatawag na API, yung console
mm,
kasi yung API is may ano yan eh, may cost yan. So ginagamit lang siya, let's say for example, if you need to build like an AI automations using Claude. Pero kung yung chatbot lang naman ang kailangan nyo, pwede nyo nang gamitin to. So
mm.
depende dun sa subscription kasi makikita naman natin sa ano let's say for example, punta tayo kay ano, can you um, punta tayo kay Claude subscriptions. This is just an example ah. If we go to the pricing, actually hindi pa pala ako naka-screen
Mag-share
share,
na kayo sir.
sorry.
Okay. Sige, sige.
Sige, screen share ko ulit para ano, para makita ng ating audience. Share screen. Sorry, let me just cancel. Okay, so there you go. So this is an example of the pricing. So
Right.
dito natin makikita yung individual pricing. So this is the pricing if let's say kasi ito this is ano billed annually kaya siya $17 per $20 siya for monthly. Ngayon teams and enterprise dito mo makikita kung ano yung mga features niya. Let's say for example, for teams and then for premium sets, ito yung mga ano niya, ito yung mga capabilities niya. Ayan, admin controls and remote local connectors. And then at the same time, yung mga yun nga, yung mga no model training on your content by default. Ibig sabihin nito, every time na let's say mag-send man kayo ng screenshot or let's say mag-send kayo ng proprietary data, let's say nagbi-build kayo ng ano ng visual dashboard using yung proprietary data nyo, hindi siya masisave by default kasi nga nakaset na yung ano yung guardrails dito sa subscription na to. For enterprise, makikita naman natin dito, let's say for example, if you're on a healthcare, this is HIPAA ready offerings available. Ibig sabihin nito, HIPAA compliant na yung mga ano niya, features niya. And
Mm,
then yung mga IP allow listing, nakakaintindi nito yung mga usually yung mga administrator tsaka yung mga nasa cyber security. Kasi
mm,
nga they're dealing with protecting data. So ayan, so dito natin makikita. So if you wanted to let's say you're a business, you wanted to make sure na compliant siya dun sa mga data security requirements. Dito nyo naman makikita yan eh. You can also contact yung sales ng platform.
Mm-mm.
So yun yung example ng how we can determine kung compliant ba siya, see how safe our data is. So you have to
Mm-mm.
understand ano ba yung subscription nyo. Ideally kasi nire-recommend talaga dapat naka-enterprise subscription kayo or naka-business plan. So yun yung
Okay.
kasi usually yun yung may mga certain set of safety guardrails.
So siguro, pag related sa work mo, gamitin mo yung enterprise and then yung mga personal mo, let's say, nagba-budget ka or
Mhm.
itinerary, whatever, meron ka dapat separate one. Wag natin siyang ipag-mix. So,
Yes. Halimbawa na lang, kunyari, may plan kayo mag-travel in the next, let's say, 3 to 6 months. Kung travel itinerary lang naman, hindi nyo na kailangan gumamit kung tutusin ng ng mga paid subscription. Let's say, for example, you can use DeepSeek or let's say Kimi kay Moonshot AI to help you plan yung mga travel itineraries nyo. Yung mga basic lang naman, yung mga basic personal tasks. Pero but
yeah.
if it's related to business or let's say enterprise or work related, it's much recommended to use yung mga enterprise grade tools eh.
Mm-mm. Ayun. Thank you, Sir Oliver, for clarifying. Any last words po or gusto niyo i-promote? Yes, please go ahead po.
Ay sure, sige, i-share ko lang, I'm not sure if yung naka-share pa ako ah. I just
Kahit
wanted to share yung aking social media pages for our audience. So, ayun, i-share ko lang mabilisan.
sige po.
So, if you wanted to connect with me on LinkedIn, you can actually scan this QR code so we can chat. If you have like for example as an organization or a business, you wanted to maximize yung AI fluency kasi we also facilitate AI workshops, trainings. You can reach out to me or let's say if you wanted to let's say uh, have someone to build your automations using AI or you want us to build something for your business, we can help you with that. So you can reach out to me via LinkedIn. And then you can also, if you wanted to get to know me professionally, you can also visit my website portfolio by scanning this QR code. You can also visit our Facebook page by scanning this QR code as well. You can also view some of our tutorials here with this QR code. And I think that's all for me.
Ayun. Thank you very much, Sir Oliver. Madami akong natutunan ulit. So, thank you po talaga. And very insightful, again, yung discussion. Siguro, key takeaway for me is maraming opportunities to improve yung productivity natin, mapadali yung araw-araw nating task. But it's important na we use it responsibly
Yes.
and not rely on it blindly. So, kailangan i-check din natin yung results. So, there should be like, sabi ko, sir, double-edged sword siya. So, dapat there's right balance between the tool and you yourself as the judgment of the output. So, I think if everyone is gonna start using it responsibly, so very very promising yung businesses and also yung technology. So ayun, thank you Sir Oliver. Thank you very much po.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me again. I hope na maraming natutunan yung audience natin today. I know this is just a very short demo lang. But again, for our audience who wants to let's say maximize yung AI fluency, we do conduct yung mga AI fluency workshops, either webinar or on-site. Just let me know, they can contact me dun sa mga QR codes.
Mm-mm.
So
Ayun,
yun
so
lang.
yung businesses, if may questions kayo, how you can incorporate it in your on your, let's say, manpower or sa finances also, just feel free to reach out to Sir Oliver, if not to OFE, and then we can connect you guys. So, ayun. Thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you, Sir Oliver. Sa ulitin, mga ka-OFE, happy weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Happy weekend to
Bye-bye.